different. And so I think that I used to believe that because, when we started our business, our companies, that was really scary and really outside of anything we'd ever done before, certainly outside of our comfort zones. I think that I used to believe or expect that once we get ourselves going, once we have sustainable businesses, which was a real pipe dream at the time, the fear part will be easier to deal with. You know what I mean? It's like we have success behind us. We have a proven track record, if not to the world, then at least to ourselves. And the truth is that it doesn't change at all. It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get nothing. The only thing that changes is that you can learn to expect it. And then when you learn to expect it, you can be like, instead of going to that place of like, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. This is me in fear. And everyone has their own version of that. Instead, you can say to yourself, oh, that again. I know what's happening. It doesn't feel good, but I know it's happening. And here's what worked last time. And so I think for everyone, it's a little bit different, but recognizing that it's normal is really a huge step. And then from there, it's really kind of keeping your eye on what it is that you're trying to aim for, and really just focusing on that and allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling and having the thing that you're going for be more important to you and opting into that and making that choice over and over again. And I think part of it too is having a really supportive kind of support network and set of people that you can lean on in those moments. And perhaps even having a routine. One of our consulting clients, one of our former consulting clients that we worked with a few years back is Nathan Cole, who's the associate concertmaster of the Los Angeles Philharmonic. And he has this incredible website and resource that I'll send to you so you can link to it. For violinists who are kind of on the audition circuit or looking to get into orchestral careers or just looking to learn how to play. And it's an amazing, amazing website with tutorials and incredible blog posts that I think honestly go far beyond string players and relate to human beings in general. And he talks about audition preparation and he talks about kind of the mindset. And I honestly think that for anyone who's doing something of significance, having a mindset approach and having an actual protocol for how you prepare for fear is really, really valuable to think through. Just like auditions, oftentimes people just do auditions over and over because that's what you're supposed to do. And some of them are horrific and some of them are awesome. And they're sort of like, that just par for the course. That's how it goes. But that's not true. You can think through what you did when they were awesome and what you thought through and how you approached it when it was horrible and see patterns there and try to kind of create a best practices for yourself. So I definitely advise that when it comes to fear, just to really to do a postmortem, to deconstruct what happens and to create a protocol for yourself because everyone's totally different. And it's important to honor that.
Yeah. In your own business journey, what has been the best investment you've ever made?
Wow, that's a really hard question.
I like to sneak in questions like that every once in a while.
I don't know if I've ever thought about that before. The best investment is a great question.
Yeah.
I think that honestly, the best investments that I've made have been, my initial inclination was to say the people that, the team, because in a service company, what you are as a company is your team. And, honestly, it took us a long time to get here and it took us a lot of trial and error and a lot of challenges. But we have truly, between the two companies, we have the most extraordinary team in the world. And, we're going to have to edit this part out because I feel like we can't let people know about this. This has got to stay a secret. So no courting of our team members away. Sure. We're holding on to them. But But truly, we have such an extraordinary team, and we would not be anywhere without them at this point, and each time as we were growing and as we were making those decisions, investing in our people, and it remains that way now. We're not at a point where we're, going public anytime soon. So, we're not at a point where it's sort of like auxiliary, and I don't think it ever will be. It's a huge investment for us. It's an intentional investment, and we're investing not just in the fact that the people are part of our team, but in hopefully retaining them and having them have a good experience and creating opportunities for them to grow and investing in their learning and growth and all of those things. So I think that's a really great investment that we have made and that we've continued to make. And, I think back on when we brought some of these team members onto our team in the earlier days when it was a huge investment. It was sort of like, like taking a deep dive and not knowing if any of us are going to come up for air.
Yeah.
But those were such good decisions back then. But the other thing that I have to say in answering your question is, and I said this earlier, that, the mindset is the most important thing because it's the one thing that at the end of the day will determine how you spend your hours, how you're able to conduct yourself in the meetings and within the opportunities that come to you, and maximize them or totally botch them. Everything that comes into your world will live or die by your mindset. And so I have to say that investing in myself and my own training and my own coaching. I've worked with coaches a number of times. I'm working with a coach now. Really sharpening my own saw when it comes to my blind spots and my mindset and how I can be a better leader, how I can be a better just a more effective human being, and how I can grapple with my own demons in a manner that's more perhaps more smooth or more gentle on myself and more generous towards myself. All of that has informed how I work both with our team, with our wonderful team, that is, blessed or cursed with me, at the helm of Cadenza Artists and working alongside Jennifer at iCadenza. And also just in terms of my ability to create, to find ideas, to create new ideas with partners and to forge ahead in the work that we do, and in the work that we do with our artists. I mean, all of those things are heavily impacted by my mindset. And so to think that I have to just invest in others and not recognize the role that my mindset plays in everything that happens, would be a huge oversight. And that's been a hard lesson for me to relearn over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I want to take a step back to your hiring policies. So clearly you're doing something right, if especially if you have such a fantastic team. Are there certain, I guess, when you're going through this process of hiring people, how do you first attract the best people for your company? And are there particular things you were looking for, or personality traits, or what was it that helped you put the pieces together to create a complete, amazing team?
I wish it were a formula that I could just, that we could just use from now on. And we're always trying. We have some very systems-oriented people on our team who are amazing, and that's just not how my mind works. But luckily we have them. And they're always trying to kind of evaluate past things, past experiences or trials and error, to create formulaic kind of approaches. And they've actually been surprisingly successful in a lot of cases where I thought, this can't be, formulaized. Yeah. But in this particular instance, they have not yet come through with a formula for us. So, I mean, I guess I would say there are some non-negotiables that we look for, which are integrity, honesty, someone who is able to communicate directly and freely. We're a very unusual team in that we're very direct with each other. We're very kind of supportive and generous as a philosophy, but we're also very direct. That's unusual for a lot of people. You know, there's not a lot of politicking involved. And everyone in our team is expected to bring forward ideas and commentary from the very newest kind of assistant team member to the most senior team members. So people are really encouraged to contribute and to be willing to engage in discourse in that way. So people that are not comfortable in that kind of environment are not a good fit. And so we're always looking for people that are vocal, but also very kind of generous in spirit, which is an interesting combination that's not always common. And people who are empathetic, but also very driven towards action. Our team works very, very quickly, and we're always kind of dealing with the next frontier of challenges along the way, which,
Sure.
I heard a podcast interview with Gary Ridge, who's the CEO of WD-40, recently, and he was saying, you know, every day we come to work to solve problems. And I just love that. I love that philosophy, because that's obviously what we all do, but thinking about it as that's the job, as opposed to, oh no, a problem, you know, it's just such a healthier mindset. So we solve a lot of problems every day, and the complexity of the problems only increases. So, working with people that are, you know, interested in a team-oriented dynamic and are action-driven, but also empathetic and able to handle very complex social situations with complex people, because we work with artists who are who can be, you know, kind of psychologically complex beings. That's what allows them to create.
That was a very nice way to describe that.
Well, my husband is a neurologist, so
Sure.
if it gets very serious, he's always on call. I'm just kidding. Yeah, in our vows at our wedding, he actually said that he vows to always be available for neurological consultations for our clients. So he is always available, but we haven't had to use him yet.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, but yeah, so I don't know. I mean, those are kind of primary and really key. Obviously, depending on the position, we're looking for different things and different kinds of breadth of background. We've worked with a lot of people on our team. This was their first job or their second job. So we've done a lot of kind of training up. But as we continue to grow, we're always, you know, starting to look more into specialization, in terms of people's backgrounds as well.
Sure. Excellent. Are you hiring right now?
We actually are hiring right now. Oh,
what kind of people are you looking for?
We are currently hiring for 2 positions, one at iCadenza and one at Cadenza Artist. Actually, at iCadenza, we're looking for an artist project leader, which is basically for our consulting clients and our management clients. This person is assigned a set number of artists that basically they're the project manager for. So they are working alongside our consultants to handle whatever projects the artist has going on, and to make sure that everyone's on the same page and that the things that the artist is trying to move forward are moving forward, etc. There's sort of a combination of the vision executor and the kind of the gentle nag on everyone involved, both in our team and the artist, to make sure that things move forward quickly enough. And then at Cadenza Artists, we're actually hiring for another booking agent. So that's a really, really, that's one of the more challenging positions to find a good fit for, because there are so many qualities we're looking for in that person.
Well, wonderful. Well, so maybe one of the listeners is fit for one of these, and perhaps we'll reach out.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So in everything that you've done, what would you say has been the best advice you've ever received?
That's another great question. I think I'm going to share something that I've shared previously with you in another conversation, because I do think that remains a really important piece of advice that guides those moments when I go into intense fear or intense overwhelm, or just or self-doubt, or doubting that the priorities that I've set for myself. I think today at